Up YouTube, what's up? This is your girl, the knowing. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Thank y'all for tapping in. I just want to do a quick video. If this is your first time, I am Dr. Lisa. Yes, a real PhD psychologist. And Tia. Some people like to say T. She helps me out, so she's on the other side of it. But we just wanted to come and just give you like an update and just tell you some things to be mindful of. First of all, I brought the last story about the incident at the school in Wanda, Georgia. And the father and the son has been charged. And a lot of people didn't understand why the father was charged. And I know this may be an old story to some, but I'm going to cover it. But you have to be accountable for what your children do. And if you go out and you purchase them something that could potentially hurt someone else, you could be held accountable. It's no different than if you have a party and you know somebody is extremely intoxicated and you know this and you gave the party and they leave and they may unalive some people. I've known people to come back and sue them. So, you have to be careful everywhere. You have to put your disclaimers out and everything. You have to say allegedly. You can't go saying, oh, I know this, I know that. You just can't. But we know that this stuff is true about they was on their trail a year ago because so many videos out there. And then if your child are not running as, the capability of a 14, 15-year-old, you should be very careful what you're doing anyway. Some children do have the mindset, and I'm not saying I'm the only one, but I hunted with my father at 8. And to this day at 47, I respect that gun. I respect them. So you got to have the right mindset. And you definitely have to have that. Every time somebody piss you off, you can't pick up a gun. Not even a weapon. That never really comes to my mind about it. I carry for protection. That's it. Never want to harm anybody. Always pray and ask God to let me come back home just as safe as I left. And the other person too. See, sometimes you got to look. There's signs. I don't care what nobody said. Signs was there. And now everybody want to put everything back on the school. Everybody love to do that now. People love to point fingers when things seem a certain way. They like to point fingers. Now, I've always heard that if you're a juvenile, I don't think you can get the death penalty. And in this case, they said the judge called them back. I've been extremely busy. I've been sick. That's why y'all haven't seen me. So I'm not up on the articles like I usually be up on them. So they're saying that, they called the school or whatever. I don't know. I'm not pretending to know. It's everywhere. And then after all of this has happened, you got copycat people that will call in a hoax. People. I don't care who you are. And I don't care how safe you are, think you are. They can find you. Okay? Now, if you think that's not true, use a computer, an iPad, a phone. Every one of these devices comes back to me. It comes right to my doorstep. As well as you. So y'all getting on these phones and threatening these folk and saying this, that, and the other. If they actually in fear for their life and they do something about it, something will be done. You got to be careful what you put out here on this app too. You got to be careful of the things that you say. We're adults. You got to be mindful of your actions. And when you do, take accountability. There's a consequences to our actions. I know that, and you should know that. It's a misfortune. It really is. It really is. It's a misfortune. But why go out and buy something like that? And people need to really, really educate themselves on that you can buy a weapon, and if it ain't together, and they send 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces that happens every day. But it ain't hard to get a firearm. Okay? So, I just said that to say this. It seemed like there's some issues there. It seemed like there's some problems. Because I think the last time I checked, the father was charged with several counts of child cruelty. So something was not going right. And let me tell you something. When people start telling y'all there's perfect families, they telling a lie. There's no perfect family. We're not perfect people. We don't live in a perfect world. So I stopped by to tell you those things. I also stopped by to tell you, I'm sure I uploaded it, but my sauces are for sale now. If you're interested, go over to the Knowing page on Facebook, and you must inbox us. We will not have a discussion about sauces or anything else over live. That's not how I handle business. So, please give me a thumbs up on the video. God bless you and your families. And pray over your children as well as yourself. Before we walk out into this mean world, and before we lay down in the bed, because we never know where stray bullets are coming from. Let's just be honest. A lot of people have been unalived in their beds. It's time to really, everybody talking about voting and everybody calling you, whatever. I don't get into the politics. But if you don't vote, just close your mouth. Close your mouth. And just say you ain't got no voice because, see, you ain't voting. So when you ain't voting, you ain't got none. Okay? All right. You don't get mad now. Everybody who don't like to vote, then they'll say, well, honey, I don't believe in all that voting. Well, hush. Hush. You don't believe in all that voting, however things going, however things get, I want you to hush. Because you just said you ain't studying that voting stuff, so hush. You ain't studying what's going on. Hush. Yeah. I said hush. Now, the moral of this post is just to inform you all of be cautious what you do. And we always say we love our children. If we love our children, protect our children. Even if it's from yourself. Protect your children. Try to lead your children in the right direction. Stop letting them play all these games that they think for real, and they're not. Y'all, this is your girl, The Knowing. I'm not fully back. Continue to pray for me as I pray for you. Remember, I'm seeing it all knowing on YouTube and The Knowing on Facebook and Tia. And remember, we love you for free. It's never a fee. I'll see you on the next live.